Is the iPhone 16 failing? Why does the iPhone 16 feels like an expensive work in progress? If you're considering upgrading to the iPhone 16, well, hold that thought, because what you're about to hear might just save you $1,000. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine going to a fancy restaurant, ordering the chef's signature dish, and halfway through the meal, the waiter tells you, "Oh, the rest of this will be ready in a few months. Just sit tight." That's pretty much what Apple has done with the iPhone 16. 2 months in, and this phone still feels unfinished. Parts of the much-hyped Apple Intelligence are either broken or MIA, but Apple's out here acting like everything's peachy. Their marketing machine is in overdrive. Billboards plastered with "Hello, Apple Intelligence," ads interrupting your YouTube binge sessions, and storefronts showcasing the iPhone 16 like it's the second coming of sliced bread. But here's the truth. The big selling point this year, Apple Intelligence, is far from ready. Let's dig into why this phone feels like the tech equivalent of a group project where one person did all the work and everyone else slapped their names on it at the last minute. Apple's big AI bet and why it's flopping. So what is Apple Intelligence? According to Apple, it's a suite of AI-powered features designed to make your phone smarter, more personal, and easier to use. Think AI that can summarize your notifications, rewrite your text to sound more professional, and even a revamped Siri that promises to actually be useful. Sounds great, right? The problem? None of it works consistently. Let's start with the notification summaries. The idea is solid. Summarize your text and alerts so you can quickly catch up without wading through endless messages. But in practice, it's a mess. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when it does work, it often pulls out the wrong parts of a message. Like, instead of highlighting a crucial update from your boss, it'll zero in on a random joke from your group chat. Imagine thinking you're about to read something important and getting, "Did you hear about the cheese factory explosion?" All that was left was debris. Then there are the writing tools, which let you rewrite your text to sound friendlier or more formal. But instead of helping, these tools churn out robotic corporate speak nonsense. Picture this, you text your best friend, "Let's hang out," and Apple Intelligence rewrites it as, "It would bring me immense joy to arrange a mutual rendezvous at your earliest convenience." Who talks like that? Not me, not you, and certainly not your friend who's just going to reply with, "Huh?" Oh, and Siri, don't even get me started. The new and improved Siri is still as clueless as ever. It's like asking a magic 8-ball for advice. You never know what you're going to get. Need to control an app with your voice? Good luck. Siri's supposed to understand personal context now, but let's be honest. Siri barely understands you when you ask it to set a timer. What happened to Apple's attention to detail? This isn't the Apple we're used to. Historically, Apple has been the tortoise in the tech race. Slow and steady, but always delivering a polished product. They've taken their time with features like OLED screens, hole punch cameras, and even a calculator app for the iPad. And when they finally rolled those features out, they nailed it. But this time, Apple seems to have rushed. Why? Probably because the competition has been diving headfirst into AI for years. Companies like Google and Samsung are cranking out AI features left and right, and Apple likely felt the pressure to catch up. But in their rush to stay relevant, they've stumbled. Here's the thing, AI is messy, it's unpredictable, and unlike traditional features where Apple can fine-tune every aspect, AI relies on data, context, and algorithms that don't always behave as expected. Case in point, Siri. Back in the day, Apple manually programmed Siri's responses to ensure they were accurate. Now they've handed the reins to AI, and the result is underwhelming. It's like they've gone from crafting a hand-tailored suit to selling off-the-rack jackets that don't quite fit. The missing features that leave us hanging. What's even more frustrating is that some of the most anticipated Apple Intelligence features aren't even here yet. Remember the big promise about being able to control your apps with voice commands? Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Rumor has it these features won't roll out until March 2025, by which time we'll already be talking about the iPhone 17. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. Apple marketed these unfinished features as if they were ready to go. The fine print might say beta, but who's reading that? Certainly not the average person scrolling through Instagram or walking past a billboard. This feels like a bait and switch. Apple is using features built for the iPhone 16 to sell the phone, but those features won't actually work until months later. Imagine buying a car advertised with heated seats, only to find out the seats won't heat until next winter. Why this feels different and worse. Here's why this stings more than usual. Apple's entire brand is built on trust. When Apple launches a new feature, we expect it to work seamlessly. That's what we're paying for. But with the iPhone 16, that trust feels shaken. Think about it. Apple Intelligence is supposed to be the next big thing, but it's not living up to the hype. And it's not just a matter of fixing bugs. It's not something you can just tweak and perfect overnight. To be fair, Apple's not alone in this struggle. AI is a complex beast, and even the best companies are still figuring it out. But Apple's misstep here feels like they're playing catch-up instead of leading the pack. And that's a huge shift for a company that's always prided itself on being ahead of the curve. Should you buy the iPhone 16? If you're asking me, the answer is a hard no. Save your money. Stick with your iPhone 15 or even your 14. The iPhone 16 feels like a beta test disguised as a finished product. And look, I'm not saying the phone is bad overall. The hardware is still top-notch, and the camera improvements are solid. But if Apple Intelligence is the main reason you're considering an upgrade, don't bother. You're better off waiting for the iPhone 17 when these features will hopefully be fully baked. By then, Apple might have ironed out the kinks and delivered on the promises they've made this year. What Apple needs to do. Here's a crazy idea. Apple should just be honest. Imagine if Tim Cook came out and said, hey, we're working on something groundbreaking, but it's not quite ready yet. Stick with us. It'll be worth the wait. That kind of transparency will go a long way. Instead, we're left with flashy marketing campaigns that oversell and underdeliver. And let's be real, nobody likes feeling duped. Apple's strength has always been in delivering features that feel like magic. But with AI, the magic trick hasn't worked. Instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, they've pulled out, well, a beta version of Siri that still struggles to set a timer. Final thoughts. At the end of the day, the iPhone 16 is a good phone, but it's not a great one. And for a company like Apple, that's a problem. We've come to expect greatness, not mediocrity. So if you're on the fence about upgrading, my advice is simple. Wait. Wait for the iPhone 17, wait for Apple to figure out AI, and wait for a product that feels like it's actually worth your hard-earned money. And hey, if you've already bought the iPhone 16 and you're feeling frustrated, you're not alone. Let's hope Apple gets its act together sooner rather than later. What's your take on all this? Are you loving the iPhone 16 or are you as disappointed as I am? Drop a comment, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Who knows? Maybe by the next video, Apple will have fixed everything and we can all eat our words. Until then, stay tuned.